And we are live. Welcome back here, folks. It is Pat and Troy here, and today it's just going to be a short, laid back episode where we are going to talk about top 10 vacation destinations in our opinions. So, like, not the public opinions or the mainstream's opinion of like what's the perfect place to go to, but our opinion. And I will let you have a go at it first, Troy. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. This is a little bit special today because this is for one of the few times it is not me who's recording. As a little bit of meta knowledge right there.
Yeah.
But anyway, the most interesting places to be on vacation.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
have.
We will just switch up. So like, just you say the first place and why.
Oh yeah. Does it have to be places where we have been or where we want to go?
Yeah, either is fine.
Yeah.
Either is fine.
So yeah, like I don't know, man. I like had you asked me like 10 years ago or something like that, I would have said Las Vegas, and no questions asked. There was number one for me, because it's like, why not? That's it would be easier to list all the reasons why not, because there aren't so many. Uh, no, like because like it is especially because I am hugely in gambling, poker, and but not just that, like also that it's just a fascinating city to be in, I guess. But also, as I have come to realize through countless discussions with one of my friends about this, who has actually been there, um, Las Vegas isn't a town where you should be more than a week. He literally said this because it will drive you crazy. Like if you stay there longer time, like there it is so distant from reality, so crazy what's going on there, that you will go insane if you stay there for longer. Um, like at least if you stay there on vacation. Of course, the people that live there are normal, or kind of normal, I guess. But
Hell,
but
man.
yeah.
I don't think that I would ever pick Vegas as a vacation spot to stay in, unless it was like for a night or two, like
Nah,
driving,
like
driving, driving past Vegas, because I mean, like this is a place in the middle of the desert,
so. I mean,
and it is
and
filled with like casinos, and
I mean,
no,
that shouldn't be, just because it's in the desert, shouldn't be the deciding
no,
factor. I
that
mean,
shouldn't
there's
be the deciding
people that
factor.
there's people that go to in Australia, that go to Ayers Rock. That's also in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
and
people
the and the and the outback.
that
No,
go to
that
the
that shouldn't. That's not the deciding factor. But
that
yeah, it
that go to the
is.
Grand Canyon. The
It
Grand
is.
Canyon is also not at the ocean.
It,
I think that's where you're going, right?
yeah,
The ocean.
like I like the ocean. I like to be able to see the ocean. So, um,
But
like
that's also the classical expectancy for a good vacation for most people, is the beach vacation, where they just lie on the beach and get sun and stuff. But
no,
that's just one thing of
I'm
many.
not part of the group that goes on an inactive inactive vacation, if you know what that is.
No,
Uh,
me neither. Me
like
neither. I've never done that.
like I, I
Well,
like
I have done that once when I was in Turkey, in Alanya, or whatever the you say, however the you say it.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, that was cool, but not something I would do. Definitely not something I would do again, because I need stuff to happen.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, me too. Me too. Like, I would like to experience it. I would like to experience the culture, because if I'm just going to lie on some beach and drink cocktails and beers, and get back, then it would be like, okay, so what did you experience in whatever country you were in? Nah, nothing. It was just on the beach drinking cocktails and beer. All right, couldn't you have done that at home? And it would
uh,
also, as a bonus, have been cheaper. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know, like if you think about like how many people do that or go to just an all-inclusive hotel and then they just stay at that hotel during the entire vacation.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was going to make the argument that that like especially if you do it with your family that it's a bonding time. Also, if you do it with friends, that it's a bonding time in a different
yeah,
location. But then again, you could
that
also do
doesn't
that in the same country, as you
that
said.
like even if it's a bonding time and stuff, then that doesn't mean that you can't experience stuff together.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you can't take an hour or two in a day to experience stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so so like because like you could all have like gone on a I don't know, like Jeep Safari or anywhere like no problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like back to this, we gotta like pick up the pace here a bit because you know like I'm on the clock here. Um,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, depends how many do we have to get through? Oh, do
we
we have
can
to get through 10?
now
Or
we don't have to get for 10. We can just say like 5.
yeah.
I will for me I would have like said South Europe because I don't feel like I have seen so much of South Europe.
As long
Uh,
as you stay away from Napoli, apparently that's a big crime.
nah, I have like there's a couple of places I'm not that huge of a fan of. I'm not that huge of a fan of France, for instance, because I don't know, it's just like a gut feeling about the place.
Well, like Britannia is fucking nice. I was there with my family, and like they both have beaches and very cultural stuff to visit. Actually, they have the monastery Mont Saint Michel, which is lying like on a almost like what do you call it?
I know
On
it.
a,
I know it.
yeah.
It lays on kind of like on an island separated from the mainland, but you're able to walk over there when it is low tide.
Yeah, exactly,
Because
exactly.
then like it is funny if you go on YouTube and you see all these fucking assholes parking their cars on the beach there, and forget about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
of
I come
course.
running back like, oh shit, my car's
Uh,
floating away. God damn.
I wonder what they do then if you just have to wait for the tide to sink back and then you can or if the
Yeah,
cars will be totaled.
no, the cars are definitely getting totaled, man. Like
Holy
imagine
shit!
like
Wow.
unless it is some kind of like Jeep that has a snorkel on it and water protected engine or something,
Yeah.
then they're getting totaled because imagine it, man. All that salt water getting into
Oh
the
yeah,
into
yeah.
and it is salt water, right? If it had been like in a lake, then maybe,
I
right?
mean, you don't have to be a mechanic to understand that salt water is bad for an engine.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
but yeah,
all that shit's getting into the air condition, the underlining of the car, the engines like and all the components in the engine. No, fuck, man, that's getting totaled.
but we're not mechanics here,
Yeah.
so let's not get lost in this
Like,
conversation.
okay, so yeah, like anyways, like my number one destination then would have been Spain.
Uh,
And I would
yeah.
like, and I'm like saying Spain because it has so much history. It has so much stuff to see in Spain, and it's also where a lot of Western movies were shot.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Barcelona is
like
especially good to see because they have the what do you call it? I forgot the name of this huge cathedral again. The San de Cristo. No, wait, what was it? Oh man, I
isn't
forgot
it
it.
Saint Benedict or is that the street?
Yeah, you talk. You keep talking. I'll Google it.
Yeah,
Um,
so yeah, like Spain because like I haven't seen that much of like Spain mainland. I've mostly been like in well, I don't think I like ever slept in a hotel in on the Spain mainland. I like taking a bus from Portugal to Gibraltar, driven through like Sevilla and there and then to Gibraltar. Um,
The only
and
other place in Spain, or not in Spain, but on Spain, should you rather say, is is Mallorca, which is basically just the fucking normal charter goal for all the tourists. So
Yeah, but
I wouldn't go there.
that's also a cool island, man. It's just like caves and shit that you can explore and see.
Yeah,
Um,
but when I was there, I was very young. I was there the first time with my family, and I didn't see much of that. So I would actually like to go there again just to see like a little bit more of the cultural side of it.
yeah,
But if you want a good amount of cultural impressions in Spain, you should go to mainland Spain instead.
yeah. That's what
Um,
I'm thinking too. Because like I've
yeah,
almost only been to the islands of Spain, like Tenerife, Gran Canaria, Mallorca, Ibiza, right? Um,
yeah.
so, but yeah, like so Spain mainland would probably be like my number one. What's your number two?
Before I go to that, need to point out the name of this cathedral, which is La Sagrada Familia or Familia. I hope I'm
Ah,
saying it correctly
okay,
in
yeah.
Spanish. That is a fascinating cathedral to see. I'm sending you the link if you want to pull it up. Um, very beautiful, and I don't even think it's finished yet. The architect, this phenomenon, as you can all probably call it, is Anthony Gaudi, who actually died before he could finish it. And yeah, definitely very good thing to see if you go to Barcelona, and also impressive to see from the inside. But let's go to number two for me. That would probably be, apart from Barcelona, Las Vegas. Then I would like to see. Actually, I'm prone to say Ireland because I've never been there. Like not really Dublin. That's not really. Maybe the Irish Highlands
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
north.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I'm gonna share that number two with you, Ireland.
Yeah, yeah,
And also it is two different countries because you have Northern Ireland
yeah.
for itself. Um, but yeah, all that history also there, with the
I mean,
RAA and
there's
the
just
fighting of the Brits and
a
culture.
a crazy amount of castles that
Yeah,
you have, and the fucking the nature, the landscape is beautiful, uh, in enveloping all the culture of this great nation that it still persists to be today. Uh, just yeah, like I would actually want to go there as the next thing, and also like you have this what do you call it, book. I only know the Danish name. The Bay Area where they shot Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movie.
oh yeah, that was shot in Ireland. Wow,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
At least the scene where Dumbledore and Harry are going into that. Sorry, nerd alert. There, are going into that cave. That's the scene they shot in Ireland. Not all of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
So yeah, that's
Like,
definitely
yeah,
very
yeah, the
yeah
culture and yeah, I definitely want to see some distilleries and stuff on Ireland, and try
yeah.
out some real Irish whiskey from the barrels
Irish
there.
whiskey and Guinness.
And Guinness,
We
yeah,
cannot
cannot
forget that.
forget
I mean,
Guinness.
that's culture right there too.
Yeah, definitely. Uh,
Straight from the tap in Ireland.
yeah, like
By
they
the way,
say, they say like how you check if a Guinness is like a true Guinness. Is that when they pour it to you from the tap, and you have the foam should be so thick that you should be able to put a matchstick in the foam and it would stay.
wow, that's thick foam.
That's
Whoa.
thick foam, man.
I don't know if it's actually practically possible, but it would be worth checking out to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just go there and then find out. I
find
guess.
find out, yeah.
And if you're lucky, when I was in Germany in Wittenberg last summer, I also got a Guinness in one of the bars there, and I was lucky enough to get a what do you call it, a four leaf, a four leaf in like the lucky leaf,
Wow,
Lucky Baldwin, I think, isn't it
cool,
called that?
cool. All right, so let's move on. We got like 6 minutes left here. And then we're going to go. We think we're going to go to like five cities, like 5 places. So what's your number 3?
That would probably be something like I feel like saying Scotland, but just to get a little bit more diversification on here, uh, I might actually want to go to one of the Eastern European countries. I don't really have a specific target in mind, but that's mainly because I haven't been actually in that many
All
Eastern
right, all right. So
countries.
let's say Eastern Europe then.
Uh,
I'm also thinking that as my number 3. I would have like said maybe Serbia or Albania. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
definitely. That's
uh,
what I'm thinking. I mean, my
I
uncle and aunt, they were in Poland the last summer, but I don't want to go there because I don't know. It's a great country, of course. There's a lot of landscape, but I don't know how much culture is in there. I may just be talking like a dummy right now,
and
but
there's a lot of culture in those. Like you gotta like
yeah,
don't forget that these countries used to be like Soviet Soviet Union countries, and there's like a lot of
yeah,
shit that they went through.
yeah.
Like
That's true.
for instance, like Belarusia. Holy shit, they lost, or Belarus, they lost 25% of their total population during World War II due to bombings from the Allied
Wow.
forces in England. So like a lot of them like have a story to tell, like this. But yeah, I would like say Albania for my number 3. Albania or Serbia. The difference is that
Yeah,
Albania actually have a coastline, but Serbia is landlocked. But
yeah,
there must be like some nice river tours. Maybe you can get them like on a boat and sail through these rivers through it. But
yeah.
yeah, man. Serbia as no, I meant like Albania for number 3. Also, that's cheap, um, and it's cheap. It's
I
great
mean,
nature.
generally, that's good about these Eastern
Yeah.
European countries. They are not that expensive.
Now the con comes to like I think like travel with like on the roads and shit. Like in Albania, for instance, the roads are not that good. So you gotta be prepared for like for bumpy rides, small
If
roads.
you go there by car, that
Yeah, or if you rent a car when you are there,
wow.
that could also like happen, right? That you would rent a car and go out and like like discover some shit on your own.
But I don't know. Will that be necessary? Is there that far between the sightings?
No, I don't think so. And like you could also just like take a cab or a bus, because I don't imagine that would be a large expense either. Just like taking a taxi in Germany is cheap, right? Um,
Yeah.
all right, so let's move on to number 4.
Yeah. Um. Like I have been in Greece, but I wouldn't on specifically the island of Creta, or what do you call it? Crete, I think. But I don't know. I wouldn't actually recommend that because mostly what I remember from that. I mean, I wasn't that old, but mostly what I remember was it was hot, uh,
Wow.
and just hanging out at the pool all the time. It was like mostly 40 degrees in the shadow, and so yeah, it was the hottest place I've ever been. Actually, I think yeah, yeah, it is because it's also the most southern area I've ever been. So yeah, wouldn't actually recommend that. Instead, I would recommend or like I would want to see maybe Iceland.
Yeah, well, that has a lot of history of like Vikings and great
and and
nature
and
and,
and,
and hot
and
springs and stuff. Yeah,
the volcanic
volcanic
activity,
activity.
that's
Yeah.
fascinating as well. Seeing Reykjavik, there's probably a lot of museums there too.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah, definitely would want to see that.
Okay, I'm going to go in the opposite direction for you, man, and like actually say Greece because like it's a place that I really want to go. Probably gonna
Yeah.
go there next year. Don't
But are we
know.
talking Greece or Crete?
No, we don't know yet. I don't know yet if I'm going to go to one of the islands or the mainland
No,
Greece.
because I would assume that Athens and Thessaloniki and all these cities that are uh,
That
still that are still like evidence from the antique. Actually,
yeah, like
they would be very fascinating
yeah,
to
I
see.
would like think so too. Like that's what I'm like thinking, like because this is where the birthplace of democracy was,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the birthplace of like great philosophers like Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, right?
yeah.
And also where like there has been some amazing battles being fought regarding the battles for empires. And as you know, like large parts of Turkey also used to be Greek
Yeah, yeah.
due to like all these like Romans, like now not what am I talking about, but all these wars and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And
but yeah,
if you go to Thessaloniki, which is the northern city, the biggest northern city it seems in Greece, then there's actually not that far. Well, not that far, of course, is relative, but there is only 600 kilometers to Istanbul, which is also a very historical city. Like with regards to the Ottoman Empire and how it was called Constantinople. No, wait,
yeah,
Constantinople
Constantinople, yeah,
before.
right.
So yeah, a lot of history there too.
I'm gonna cut it a little bit short, Troy. So we gotta move on to number 5.
We could do this for hours, but yeah,
Yeah, we could do this for hours. We should do more of these, definitely, definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what's your number 5?
Number five would probably be across the Atlantic again, like someplace in the U.S. that's not Las Vegas, like any place really in the
All right,
U.S.
all right. So
that's
U.S.
not
for
Las
number
Vegas.
5. Uh,
Probably New York would be great. You've been there.
yeah,
New
yeah,
York.
this is a great town. Like tons of stuff to explore there and things to see.
Wouldn't go to Florida though. I don't know. Miami never really said me anything. It's also just like beach parties and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
well, like Florida has some great stuff too. I mean, like there you go, like scuba diving and fishing and charter tours through the swamps and stuff.
But that's more
That you go.
that's
Yeah,
more your areas there.
yeah. Um, my number 5 would probably be Canada, I think.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because that's also like definitely like a lot of culture there to see, food to explore, hiking trails to go on, and general just the nature itself.
But
That
Canada is quite large.
it is.
Like
It is. So
you can specify west or
I'm
east.
going to specify it to be like the southern part of Canada.
Oh yeah.
And then maybe the east due to the travel time, since it would take like a long ass time to get to Vancouver, since that's
Yeah.
the west coast.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Quebec.
Then you
Tor-
gotta practice your
Tor-
French though.
Quebec or Toronto. Yeah, well, most of these people also speak English. It's like it's French is not the dominant language.
Oh yeah, I think it
But they
is.
do.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, let's find out when I get there, man. But all right, we're going to do more of these travel podcasts. I'm going to edit this later and put in some pictures of all these places.
Yep.
So you don't
By the
have
way,
to.
before one, like I need to get this in there before we end it.
Yeah.
The official language of Quebec is French.
All right, then maybe I should go somewhere where the official language is English. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Maybe Toronto, though, that we also talked about in another podcast, where we figured out that 40% of Toronto's natives or inhabitants are foreigners.
Yeah.
So they should know English, at least.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for like tuning in. We're going to do more of these travel podcast episodes, and with like more pictures and video, so you can see me and Troy's ugly faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing better than ugly radio faces, right?
Yeah, right. All right. So thanks you for all for listening. Subscribe, share, and comment if you like. Peace out, guys.